YouTube. Got a fun one for y'all today, man. We got the best aura moments in nature. It's by the boy Casual Geographic. I've been seeing some of his shit in my goddamn YouTube, and I figured, why not react to it, man? This dude looks like a goat. Let's get straight to it, man. Come on. Appreciate you guys, man. We almost at 21K, and we hit 20K literally yesterday. Or maybe the day before. But either way, that's fucking insane. I love you guys, man. I love this shit. I love you guys. It's a beautiful combination. This video is going to be lit, man. I hope you guys enjoy it. And without further ado, man, let's get straight to it, man. Peace out. Okay, bro. Best aura moments. Let me mute this sub goal. Y'all don't need to see that. Let me make sure this sounds good for y'all, bro. You see, wait, did that goose just hawk down a fucking... Y'all see that shit, right? Goose standing on business. Goose standing on business. That's my favorite one I ever seen. Aura. My bad, yo. Yeah, if you see a lion doing this shit, he don't want no damn meat, bro. Look at that shit. He's got his eyes on something a little bit bigger. Fuck no,
You've heard the word, even if it was after the brain rot brigade ruined it for everyone. The definition of aura is not important. It's the feeling. It's commanding the entire room without speaking. It's when your name is spoken. It demands respect. Man, look, we don't even need this intro. You know what aura is.
I know what aura is,
Captain America wielding the hammer of Thor. Aura. Steph Curry having an entire building watching him shoot. Except for Steph Curry, aura.
Yep.
Experts advising tourists against even saying this bear's name for their safety, aura.
Yep.
Animals can have it too. And when you talk about aura, this bear might just be the mascot. This is bear number 122, but he's mainly known as the boss. He's a 700-pound walking boulder of a bear.
700
most
pounds?
Dominant grizzly in Banff National Park in Alberta. He's your biggest predator's biggest predator, as the boss has been recorded catching, murking, and eating other bears. In fact, one of the first times he ever was seen was while feeding on a recently expired black bear. Or at least what was left of him, and officials had to close down the Sundance Canyon Trail until he was done. He's like the carnivore conductor. Everyone has to follow his time.
700 pounds, bro?
But the first one up.
Hey Siri, name something that's 700 pounds.
A muskox is an animal that weighs 700
So he's the size of a fucking musk
a home range of about 1,000 square miles, and like Genghis Grizzly, Boss is believed to have fathered 70% of all the bears in Banff. Brother Bear was going to work, but unfortunately, with every
bro
job,
owned 70% of the fucking bears. Dude was bossing,
was
busting nuts, dude.
The train, that is. Yeah, this walking plot armor survived being struck by a train twice. Mind you, trains are the #1 killer of all wildlife in Banff, and Boss regularly uses the tracks as a buffet line to feed on as well as the carcasses of other animals that were
got hit twice and he lived, dude.
Twice. The definition of aura is a bear covered in oil from hours spent eating off the same tracks that should have killed him. But this god of war grizzly doesn't just not fear death, he straight up disrespects it. According to Parks Canada mapping, Boss regularly crosses high-speed, heavy traffic highways like Trans-Canada. And yeah, in case you were curious, that's another leading cause of bears getting disqualified.
Bro, what is wrong with this dude, bro?
Or
what is right with this dude?
If there was something less than nothing, bears would want that to do with us. The best way to avoid a bear is to make enough noise to give the bear a chance to avoid you.
But not Boss.
Mother bears will actually den closer to people, knowing that'll keep baby aborting males away. Which means, ironically, some bears choose the man. Boss chooses himself. Bear 122 is a common visitor of compost.
Bear 122 and his name is Boss, bro. That is fucking peak.
Just to keep him from raiding the landfills. There was also that time you had Boss breaking into backyards just to eat from fruit trees. So of course the only option was to cut down the trees. The thing is, Boss was never known to be aggressive to people. To be fair, that's also true for most bears that are alive. But my theory is, he knows damn well we can't do a thing about it.
Boss
is a whole anime protagonist with predatory hardware, so you shouldn't be surprised that he has his own
Is he still alive?
One day, wildlife photographer John E. Marriott seemingly saw Boss at his worst. He could barely move, he had chunks taken out of his face, and for the first time, he had gotten got. And the most likely culprit, yeah, that would be this guy, Split Lip. Split Lip, or Bear 136, was another mountain of a bear.
I just spit everywhere.
They even had the same Ursicidal tendencies. In 2015, his tracking
the hell's on his noggin,
and researchers looking for it were met with Split Lip's discarded collar and a mostly eaten grizzly corpse that wasn't Split Lip.
Oh my god, he took his collar off and ate a fucking grizzly bear.
Marinating over a decade. And with Boss estimated at 28, he proves one thing.
28? Hey Siri, how long does the average bear live?
The average lifespan of a bear is 25 years.
So this boy is
Profession where men die
fucking
young. In fact, even
old.
his name is
Maybe not though.
dangerous. Just not in the way you think. You see, when you name an animal, you're basically personalizing them. It's one thing to do it to a dog.
L-dog.
It's a different game for a 700-pound wild Rottweiler. It turns animals into celebrities.
That's
If
not
you
a
think
Rottweiler,
someone's
that's a
not logic
bear.
deficient enough to risk it all for a boss selfie, yeah, bison is more than a good buy.
Don't do
it's
that.
enough for experts to caution against
I've
saying his
seen too
name out of
much.
fear that
I
he
know
might
too
literally
much,
gain too
and
much clout
we've-
for his own
oh,
good. Think
dude,
about
no,
it.
no,
This
no,
bear's
shit.
aura is too strong to have a name. But there's more than one kind of aura, even in the animal world. You ever get that new kid in class that everyone just rocks with? Like the popular kids, the teachers.
No
you can make
way,
friends
the-
after
oh, this is a
school by
capybara.
lunch. That's that charismatic aura. And this is the picture of
Yeah.
it. The story goes, a couple lost
Capybara,
their dog
bro.
while hiking in Kamchatka. Remind me to tell you why that's important later. And they fired up a drone to try and find
That's
them.
the-
They
yeah, that's
did.
the
They found
capybara.
them traveling with 3 bears. There's a lot to unpack here.
Wait, who
Number
is this?
one,
Is this
bears
a
don't live in
dog?
packs, thank the natural order for that, but that means this husky had the stones to pull up on a mother bear with cubs and didn't get
Okay.
sent to dog back.
W husky.
Not to mention, there are wolves in Kamchatka, meaning bears already have a predilection to canine prejudice. But speaking of Kamchatka,
Damn, this
not
dude's
only
got some
does it flex
lingo,
the highest
bro.
density of
Casual
brown bears
Geographic, is
on
that him?
Earth, the
This is him, right? Bro, yeah, damn, bro. We gotta do a
constant fresh
collab.
supply
Hey,
of sand
Casual
dunes, they're
Geographic,
one of
if
the
you
few
see this
animals
shit, bro,
alive that could maul a grizzly.
we can
I'm
make
not
something
exaggerating.
happen,
This dog
dog.
was the biggest land predators on the planet and adopted them. Yeah, he adopted them. You can tell they're just barely
We can
tolerating
make
him.
something
The whole time the
happen,
husky's
bro.
having the time of his life. Does this look familiar? I'll give you a hint.
I'm making waffles.
And I just know it was the mom telling the cubs ignore him and he'll go
Decent-
away that
decent-
got him here. That's
decent-
the real reason
decent
she doesn't
connection.
suplex his world. Because then she'd be admitting she was wrong. There's no report the couple got their dog back, but I don't think that's not their dog no more.
No.
Especially since if I had a nickel for every time a drone caught a dog breaking bear boundaries,
He's gonna say I had a 5 cents. Maybe he'd say I'd have 10 cents.
I'd have at least 2 more nickels than I woke up with. Oh, and it's more than just dogs. In 2018, a Polish farmer lost one of his cows, and for 2 months
get that.
straight, she was unaccounted
I'm
for.
here.
That is until she was caught posted up with a herd of wild, untamed bison.
This makes sense
I
to me.
could make the joke here,
This
but
makes
I-
sense to me. This makes sense to me. You see this cow, he's low-key got 70% of the traits. He's just not as big. He's been on the machines while these things have been using free weights.
Don't want to give
That's the
guidelines
only
to
difference
James,
I
so
find.
Hopefully the comments do it for me.
And they got
In
some horns.
2016, another drone captured a pod of beluga whales that had adopted a single lone narwhal. Just for reference,
Bro,
narwhals
narwhals
are
are
painfully
bots, bro.
shy people fearing eternally introverted
Narwhals
anxiety
dead
whales
ass
that
are
could
have the most
genuinely get
useless
past tense by a
build
panic
of
attack. But as
2025 and
2022,
honestly
he's been
of all
running with the
time.
same beluga squad every
Sorry,
year.
sorry, I
This
get you.
is aura. Also, fun fact, Narluga hybrids are an actual thing. So
Bro, they got
maybe this is the same
9-foot
vibe.
horns.
Probably helps that despite resembling a sun-starved dolphin, belugas have the intimidation of a cinnamon roll. Next animal looks like a cinnamon roll. What could absolutely fold you?
Why the fuck did belugas catch a stray? Ooh!
You know, when I saw this video, my first thought, that golden retriever's there strictly for vibes. Come to
No.
realize, that's not a golden retriever, it's a furry Grim Reaper.
Yep.
It's a Great Pyrenees, a canine
Nah,
insurance policy.
All jokes aside, actually Hawflore. I actually used to have one of these. Sadly, she passed away. Rip. I actually used to have one of these, a Great Pyrenees. These things don't fuck around. They're literally, their DNA is guard dog. They're like a fucking mini polar bear.
Run phase with wolves and bears. It's old man country
I
strength.
bet-
and a
I know-
king in
I
his
know this
body.
shit.
If you meet someone's Pyrenees for the first time and they're all over you, yeah, that's not affection. It's basically a
No,
vibe
that's
check
not
and
true. Mine was
fail
actually
your
very
own
nice.
expectations, because the moment you do something they
But they had
don't
a
like to
loud
them
ass
or
bark. A
God forbid
fucking
someone
squirrel
they
run
care
by and be
about,
like, "Ah!"
This is Casper. He's not a ghost, but damn it if he doesn't make him. He's a 21-month-old, 85-pound cotton-tip goofball.
Low-key, I'm gonna try to
He's
find a
according
picture.
to owner John Werville. He lets chickens sleep on his head. He treats the sheep like
He lets
family.
chickens
He's
sleep
pretty
on his head. What
outgoing
a
for
G.
a guard dog. Until it's time to go out and be a guard dog.
That dude's
On
sketchy
November
as fuck.
3rd, 2022, 11 coyotes raided the farm in Georgia, and 3 managed to break
Trying to
into
quickly
pen.
find a photo
that
for
was a
y'all, but if
motivation
not,
enough. Casper also
there's
had
nothing
a
I can
mate,
do. You
Daisy,
know what I'm
who was
saying?
pregnant
I
with
could
8
pause the
puppies.
video and cut it,
Casper
but
knew what time it was.
what are we gonna
Casper
do here?
cleared the
Edit?
4-foot hog wire fence and not so gently perp walked the first 3.
Okay, he looks tough as shit. Hang on, I might have found one. Wait. Fuck, I didn't
Off
find
the
it.
census in seconds.
But I had
Casper
one. Just
then
trust me,
jumped the
guys.
fence
Trust
again,
me.
And this time went after the entire pack. And even with 5 other Pyrenees on the farm, Casper went at it alone. No backup. This was personal. Casper
name was Izzy.
disappear for 2 days.
She was
until
fucking
reappearing
huge.
with cuts,
Not even
torn-
trolling you? Like, this obviously isn't the size of a real tiger, but she was bigger than this. No, she was probably this size. Maybe a little bit bigger. And I'm 8'2". So that's actually fucking crazy, bro. Think about that shit for a second, you know what I'm saying?
And a severely injured tail that ended up getting amputated. I showed the other guys, but corpses aren't allowed on YouTube. The next day, people found the bodies of the
that Thomas?
decommissioned coyotes littered around railroad tracks, the carnage totaling 8 dead coyotes.
L. Thomas.
You remember how many unborn pups they pressed? I don't believe 8 was an accident. Casper would spend 2 weeks at the emergency vet and another 6
Casper
at the
looks like
animal
she's been to
clinic
the
to treat his
fucking
wounds
ringer,
and
buddy.
But thanks to Samaritans donating $15,000 to his medical bills, Casper would make a full recovery. And in 2024, he was voted the People's Choice Pup and won
He's
Farm
the
Dog of
People's-
Year. Today, Casper's retired, and after single-handedly saving his entire bloodline, as he
People's
should,
champion,
next
bro,
animal
that's
also
fucking
retired,
peak.
but only after saving his entire species. Except this is the one time the aura came from stolen valor. Aura fraud is a crime in this prehistoric plus-size pebble
You got a
community.
fucking
That
turtle?
tortoise actually used to be seasoned all over.
That's aura
That
right
changed
there.
the moment folks discovered how good turtle meat tastes. It was actually ridiculous. You know, they didn't get a scientific name for hundreds of years, all because the sailors traveling with them kept eating them before they made it back to London. It got to the point where the population of giant tortoises on Hispaniola Island was 3 males and 12 females away from getting discontinued permanently.
Nah, but those
they started
dudes
a
was
breeding
busting
program, but off the
nuts.
bat, only 2 males were able to contribute. That was until they realized that a tortoise
San Diego Zoo. Bro, I'm going here in fucking 3 days.
living in the San Diego Zoo had actually been born on Hispaniola, and DNA tests confirmed that Diego was exactly what they were looking for, and so recruited him. Diego peeped the census and immediately came to his senses. He locked in. They said, "Go Diego, go." Boy, did he ever. 3 male Hood Island tortoises were brought into the breeding program, and Sir Diego
Yes,
proceeded
bro,
to score a
Diego,
career
get
high
in
in
there,
spreading
buddy.
thighs. Do turtles even have? Yes. With more rounds than Nick's cannon, the amorous anvil with legs spawned 900 children and fathered 40% of all the tortoises born in the program, forever
900
immortalizing him as
kids?
the turtle who laid so much pipe he carried the species. And I do mean carry. There were 3 males, but one of them literally couldn't bump shells if their species depended on it. Either that or it was one of those watching turtles. Now, I'm not a mathematologist. but 3 males with
900,
1.40%
bro?
And the other contributing vibes means Diego wasn't the MVP. That turtle was E5, and logic says his loins were responsible.
If E5, if he says it's responsible right here, if it's more than 1200, but it's got a supersonic dick.
For 60% of the output. But apparently Diego being a bigger, louder personality means he siphoned E5's clout, although to be fair, being named after a fucking bingo space didn't help. E5 was quiet, reserved, and rarely witnessed in the act. Meanwhile, Diego was the type to crash keratin and let the whole island hear about it. This was a turtle too, man.
You gotta
They
have
went on
2
a
types of turtles. You gotta
legendary
have
run
your
to save
Diego
their
and you gotta have your
species,
E5.
which now
Someone
numbers
who's with the shits and
2,300
someone who's
on
off the shits.
Hispaniola. Both tortoises have retired and have since been returned to their native island almost 80 years after they were first recruited.
is that?
Moral of the story, there's a lot in a name. Call a bear a boss and he'll act like one. Name a shell jockey after the spawn of Elon, you're setting both up for failure.
What the hell's he
Failure's
doing?
not even a concept to the next animal, because when you talk
Why are we
about
laughing?
aura, this guy might
L
have won
visit-
himself
L
a life
visitors.
supply. This is Jacob the Ion. Ion cuz he just refuses to take the L. And earlier this year, he and his brother broke a record
that a science
in the
pun? I
most
don't get it. I
unexpected
wasn't good
way
at science,
possible.
still not.
But to really appreciate how insane this is,
They got
you
thermal
need to know
vision.
just how they got here. Jacob belongs to a super rare population of tree-climbing lions in Queen Elizabeth National Park. What was
That's
really
rare? I
rare
thought
was his
all
plot
lions
armor.
climb trees,
In
bro.
2019, 5-year-old Jacob stepped on a wheel trap, a brutal torture device meant to
Fuck off, dude. L humans. It's always the humans. It's always it. You know what?
bring down buffalo and hippos.
It always is.
That'd be curtains for most lions, but Jacob managed to escape.
It always
although
is.
not without sacrificing a leg. And although he was kept alive by pride mates bringing him food and rangers eventually treating his wound with antibiotics, the chances a 3-legged lion can last more than a year are low, and they were about to get a lot worse. In March 2020, 6 of Jacob's family members were poisoned by poachers, and body parts sold.
Okay. I'm getting chills down my fucking spine. Humans, bro. Poachers, bro. Poisoning animals, chopping their legs off. Like, you gotta understand. Bro, I got that David Attenborough in me, bro. He's been saying fuck all that shit. I've been watching enough ball for now to realize it's just pissing me off.
Sold on the black market. Being a tripod predator is already
Sold
life
on the
impossible,
black
but
market,
doing
bro.
that without
What a
pride behind you is
fucking
a for sure
loser.
death sentence. Death seemed even more certain because 6 weeks after that, Jacob was gored by a buffalo, gifting him a gruesome puncture hole in his chest. Somehow Jacob survived everything, but the jihad of life didn't end there. Even with brother Tibu by his side, there's one big risk with being a lion without a pride, and one night, it happened. Jacob and Tibu lost a fight with a rival group of males, and as lion culture states, all losers must be banished from the territory. Problem was, the only way out involved crossing the Kazinga Channel, a channel believed to hold the world's largest population
This is actually insane.
of hippos and crocodiles, both a massive threat to an Afro Kitty's way of life. Jacob had already beat the odds like a Cherokee drum, but this time had
I
to
hear
be
Mario
too
music.
much.
I hear Super Mario Galaxy.
They did it. Jacob and Tibu swam nearly a mile across croc and hippo seasoned waters at night. It was the longest distance a lion has ever been recorded swimming, and in Kazinga, most don't make it past 100 meters. The brothers lasted a length of 14 football fields, and the craziest part, it didn't take one try. It took 3 attempts, and one of them ended with a mysterious creature stalking them and forcing the pair back to shore. Do you know the nerve it takes to swim through a steroid lizard luncheon and a hippo pool party in the dark for 45
my
minutes while having no way of
fucking
knowing
God.
if something's following you? What even motivates 2 lions to risk their entire
No.
literal? Yeah, that
Ion
good.
is insane.
You see, lions often mark their territory with roaring, and after
Oh,
losing
Ion like lion without the L. Oh my God. Okay. If you guys knew that, comment down below if you knew that, or if you just figured it out when I did, let me know, because that's actually tough. Lion without the L, so they called him Ion?
So yeah, lioness. Nah, them boys did it for the lion yash. Let's pray this lion gets laid, because that DNA going to waste would be the real tragedy. Second time this video, animals went on a 2-man to save the lineage.
Bro.
The next animals at the ratio of destruction held
That's
down
actually
destroying
insane.
everyone else's. But if you know anything about honey badgers, you know this Oreo otter puts the aura in horrifying.
We know.
Same dust weasel that sleeps off snake venom and goes 3v1 on hyenas and
know,
still
Ball.
solos. And there wasn't a honey menace with more aura than Stoffel. Let me tell you something about Stoffel. Stoffel is disrespect in the form of a black Air Force
Ooh,
bull.
he said
He's the mascot of
with
habitual
it.
line stepping. Like IBS, you can't stop him, you can only pray to contain him. He was actually found by caretaker Brian Jones, credits to the Weasel distribution system, but Stoffel is like a four-legged tornado in his home, nuking the place and daring him to do something about it. Eventually, he brought Stoffel to
Did he
the
just piss on
Mahala
somebody's
Animal
rug?
Rehabilitation Center. And if you think
Wait, how did
being
bro
around
just pronounce
about
that?
it- Eventually, he brought Stoffel to the Mahala Animal Rehabilitation Center. And if you think being around other animals calmed this Tasmanian devil, you don't know Stoffel. There wasn't a single animal this
Stoffel.
furry thumbtack wouldn't beef with, from messing with a rhino 100 times his size, to running a fade with a serval next door, to even folding an adult tawny eagle.
Dude.
No foul. He'd also harass kitchen staff and help himself to the fridge.
Siri's out here
Couldn't stop
listening.
him.
Shut
And it
your
turned
ass
out
up.
Stoffel wasn't fit to be released to the wild, so this felon ferret was here to stay. At one point, he dug through an electric fence and
Seen
started
it.
bullying the lions,
Seen this.
specifically chasing the male around.
If you
and
guys
trying to
haven't seen this, you don't know honey badger lore.
bite his
Respectfully.
lion bits. The
Respectfully.
lion actually grabbed Stoffel, but fun fact, honey badgers are built like a comeback, and loose skin around the neck meant he could turn around and bite the lion right back. He must have been feeling himself, because Stoffel ended up going back to the lions a second time and nearly got mauled to death, spending over 2 months in the animal hospital.
Yeah.
The first thing this monochrome crash out did,
For any of you honey badger glazers and lovers out there, let me just say something. Honey badger is unreal. They're so small and they do so much. But if a big animal like a lion decided it really wanted to kill the honey badger, and I'm not even a lion guy, it could. So that's
Let's try to get it back in blood.
That's
At
where
this
I have
point,
a hard time
Brian
when
knew
I'm
he had to
doing
lock up
animal
his war
rankings.
weasel for his own good, and that's when things really got disrespectful. In his new enclosure, Stoffel climbed
know
a
what I'm
tree by a
saying?
wall and got out. Should have seen that coming, but then they removed all the trees by the wall. The convict spent all night bending and twisting a branch until it broke, carried it to a wall, leaned it against, and escaped again. So now all the trees were out. Low diff for the Stoff. This time he dug up all the rocks in
And-
the enclosure, stacked them high enough, and emancipated himself again. So there went the rocks, but like a fool, they left him with mud. A few mud piles later, and
Yeah,
Henry
he's him.
Houdini humbled
No,
him
he's
again.
literally him.
One time someone made the mistake of leaving a rake in there. Guess what he did. At
Yeah.
one point, they thought they were bringing in a love interest named Hammy, but all they really did was literally gift him a partner in crime. Like Shadow Clone Jutsu, now there was 2 of them.
Now there's
There was
2 of
one
them,
night
bro.
Stoffel broke into his caretaker's home via rocks through the window and even tried the door. No one got hurt, but sometimes it's about sending a message. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show Nick. He made it clear that every second he was behind a wall was a choice, cause there's a twist. It was all a game. The Weasel Menace had been hand raised by humans
Weasel
his
Menace,
entire
come
life
on, buddy.
and had imprinted on them. He wasn't going anywhere. Fun fact, honey badgers are like the mama's boys of mustelids, with pups staying with their mothers for up to 2 years.
Yep, I knew that
As far as
shit.
Stoffel was concerned, Brian was mama. So yeah, Casper
Mama!
was fueled by family, and Jacob's motivation was hookuning some tatas. This dusty sand weasel was memeing the entire time, and I checked, he's still alive. He's currently 27 and has lost most of his teeth, but he still has
Hey Siri, how long does the average honey badger live?
Okay, I found this on the web. For how long does the average honey badger live?
Doesn't even say. Doesn't
Hammy
even
to
say.
chew his meals
So
for
I'm
him.
just gonna
Stoffel
assume that's
even
old
has
as
a
fuck.
son named Stumpy, guaranteeing that the family business is alive at least another generation.
I'm just gonna assume that's
But
old
yeah,
as
that's
hell.
gonna do it for this video. Make sure you drink water, hug your mother. If you ever wanted to meet
Drink some
Stoffel,
water.
you should probably get on that. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
Hey, we never reacted to that before. That was low-key a W. That was low-key a W. Hey, you never know. You never know.